chase the glory. Viseo.
Sports on CBC, presented by l'U-Sport à Radio-Canada, une présentation du gouvernement du Canada, the Government of Canada, Nike, Fox 40, Theraburn Medical Supply, Les Bag Baron Rings, BioSteel, Wilson, APAR, and by Student Housing Calgary.
A spot in the national championship game on the line for the second time in as many Saturdays. It's Carleton and TMU, except this time it's not for an Ontario title in the Wilson Cup. It's for a spot in Sunday's gold medal game here at the Final Eight. Welcome inside the Jack Simpson Gymnasium. We got everybody here. There's Josh Arbuthnot. There's Cami Kepke. We'll be hearing from both of them as the evening goes on. Jermaine Cummings, Arash Madani, it is great to have you with us for the first of our two national semifinals. Carleton, the 17-time national champions. TMU looking for their first natty in school history. And for the Ravens, the big question is what will they do with the player who isn't in the lineup today?
Yes, and that player being Calgary's own MJ Okada, who went down in the third quarter of yesterday's game with a non-contact injury. But speaking to his teammates post-game, they seem to be using this as a rallying cry. Also, doesn't hurt that they've got a pretty good contingent out here. Sometimes it sounds like a Carleton home game, if you ask me. But besides that, the Carleton Ravens do look to produce today, despite not having their leader, their physical leader on the floor. But best believe they're going to have him behind them in spirit.
Fifth-year senior is out. Tyler Brown will start in his spot. Meanwhile, Toronto Metropolitan University, what a run this has been for a program that has been building for this week, this weekend. They have the National Player of the Year, and they've been talking about this Final Eight as if it's this far-fetched dream, and now it's become a reality on campus downtown Toronto.
Yeah, that reality is definitely on the doorstep here for TMU. Like you just said, trials and tribulations going through Carleton last year in that Wilson's Cup, and now a year later, almost an entire nation away here in Calgary. These two are going for it one more time. And like you said, Aaron Rooms, where do you begin with this guy? The plain plate we start, I'm sure.
The Bold come in with a 9-game win streak into this national semifinal and are led by the best player in all of Canada. Aaron Rooms has been the engine at Toronto Metropolitan University for the last 5 years. That will be the man that we will be featuring throughout the day. Rooms was held to 16 against Carleton last week. And when you speak to Dave DeViro, the TMU coach, he's the first to tell you, we need more out of Aaron tonight.
Definitely do. And even yesterday, it took a little bit for Aaron to get going. But if he can get to his game, which is that mid-range magistry we know he likes to do, obviously a great rebounder as well, if he can get there instantly, quick, off the bat, could be a very, very good day here for those TMU Bolds.
Emmanuel Milan will have to pick up the slack that MJ Okada leaves behind with injury. And when you speak to people around the Ravens, they will tell you that Milan is going to be vital. And that's somebody that Toronto Metropolitan University will be keeping an eye on. Milan being a starter in this Carleton unit.
6'6", fills lanes correctly, loves to rotate and plays amazing defense. An athlete on both ends of the floor. Like you just said, Arash, Emmanuel Milan is going to be crucial if Carleton looks to pull off a victory here today.
It's the Ravens, it's the Bold. It's a rematch of the Wilson Cup. A week after TMU won it by 10, the stakes much bigger. A spot in the national championship on the line here at the Jack Simpson Gymnasium. You're watching the U Sports Final 8 here on CBC.
That's embarrassing. You know it's not embarrassing? Using FIG for a home improvement loan. A quick, simple, and transparent offer in minutes. Borrow better with FIG.
Le sport en direct sur ici-tout.tv. 100% énergie. 100% gratuit. Votre meilleur plan de match pour voir des performances exceptionnelles. Des athlètes de grand talent. Des sports de haut niveau. Tout ça sur l'appareil de votre choix. C'est simple et gratuit sur ici-tout.tv.
Hey, U Sports fans, check out shop.usports.ca for this week's promotional item from the Nike Team Collection. Visitez le shop.usport.ca pour en profiter de la promotion de la semaine de la collection Nike Team.
Inside the Jack Simpson Gymnasium on the campus of the University of Calgary, it's the TMU Bold, it's the Carleton Ravens, a rematch of last week's OUA championship game, and here comes Carleton, the 17-time national champions. Keep your eye on number 22, Tyler Brown, because he's got some big shoes to fill today.
That he does. Getting the start today in place of the injured MJ Okada is Tyler Brown. If you talk to him, you know he is ready for this moment. Great minutes from him off the bench yesterday. So we're going to see if he can repeat that same performance here today, this time getting the start.
And the question for the TMU Bold to go with the same starting five as always is what kind of production will they get out of this man? 6'11", Aiden Wilson, the fifth-year senior, is dealing with an injury. He's dealing with a illness, a virus he just hasn't been able to shake. Wilson's minutes have been limited over the last few weeks. Just how much will their big be a factor today?
Gonna have to see. One thing, if you ask him, he's not worried about injuries or illnesses or anything. This is why we play the game. Let's see how much it affects him.
Our first national semifinal underway at the U Sports Final 8, TMU and Carleton. With the whistles tonight, Cooper Toppings, Ryan Langdon, and Neil Donnelly. And maybe Aiden Wilson heard us. He said, hold on, I can knock down buckets.
That's right. Somebody looks ready to go. Don't worry about any kind of viral illnesses or any kind of injuries. Like we said, Aiden has got to be ready to perform, and that was just an example.
Here's Emmanuel Milan. We told you about him in the open. He's good from the elbow over the outstretched arms of Aaron Rooms. A 21-5 season for TMU. They're in the white unis with the blue and gold trim. They're led by that man, Aaron Rooms, their fifth-year senior, and the National Player of the Year. Carleton likes to keep the pace up. They feel that's the way, that's their ticket if they want to knock off their conference rival. Swung over to Kevin Toth, who was so good yesterday against UBC. Hit 5 threes yesterday and opens with a triple here.
Yes, perfect knockdown right there, but not to go underappreciated. Aaron Rooms, perfect dribble handoff. Set that perfect screen, able to open up Toth for that three.
So here he is, Tyler Brown, who's in because of injury, short on his opening jumper. It'll remain Ravens ball with 4.8 seconds left on the shot clock. Carleton went 17-5 in the regular season, tops in the OUA East, 25-9 overall against U Sports opponents. Beautiful inbounds play and a terrific finish. That's Luth Mohammed Koulibaly.
Yes, great cut off the inbounds on the baseline out of bounds play. Always got to look for that back door, and he slides right in behind that sleeping defense and wakes him up with an easy 2.
So here's Toth, who's their distributor, their ball handler. TMU wants everybody to touch the ball, and there's Gabe Gutsmore, who was so good yesterday, hit 5 threes himself in a 23-point performance against UBC in the comeback win. Brown misfires, Rooms the rebound. If you like pace, if you like tempo, you're at the right location here. These are two teams that'll want to do it all night. Rooms left alone. Buckets. Only the third first-team All-Canadian in program history, Aaron Rooms from Mississauga, Ontario. Great backdoor pass, intercepted by Toth, went off a foot, and so it'll be Carleton ball. Taffy Charles, the head coach of the Ravens, quickly going into his bench. 3 substitutes on the floor, including Mark DK, and he is going to get some extra minutes. You see number 13 there. And now the triple. Dory Havens can't connect. Rooms again. Gutsmore thought about it. Gutsmore drives. And rebound collected by Mohammed Koulibaly. Oh. Cedric Biaba unable to finish underneath.
That's unfortunate right there because he ran the fast break the typical way you're supposed to. Fill those lanes up, get into the line, but you've got to knock down those gimmies to make it all worthwhile.
So catch your breath. This is how this game is going to go. Both coaches talked about the importance of pace, the importance of tempo. Third time these two teams have met this season. Once in the regular season, once in the OUA title game, and now here at the U Sports Final 8. Here's Koulibaly going to work and finishing with the left hand.
Just got to drop that shoulder right there, man. Use your body, and that's exactly what you saw Koulibaly do. Take the defender with him to the basket.
Fifth-year man from Ottawa doing his MBA at Carleton. Toth runs out of space. Wilson able to corral it, but it's picked off by Cedric Biaba, and the finish on the fast break. So Biaba, who began his university career at Laurentian, a few years in Sudbury, knows all about Aaron Rooms, who he's guarding. And he said, I never imagined winning a playoff game, let alone getting the Nationals when I was up there playing for the Voyageurs. Has made an impact coming off the bench for the Ravens, who trail by 2, and a foul in the backcourt. Layup doesn't fall. Second chance opportunity for the Ravens. And no team in the Ontario Conference has had a better offensive rebounding performance throughout the year than the Carleton Ravens.
And that is very evident in the style that they play. When the ball goes up, it is black and red jerseys to the front of the rim every single time. Now, if you're TMU, you've got to do your best to keep them away from that part of the court, because if not, it is eating time down low.
Dylan Piajuka going to work on Rooms. try to find Biaba, nothing there, and terrific defense, on the ball defense from the Bold. 5 minutes gone by, opening quarter of this national semifinal. We will step aside on CBC Sports.
That's embarrassing. You know it's not embarrassing? Using FIG for a home improvement loan. A quick, simple, and transparent offer in minutes. Borrow better with FIG.
Delaney, Northwest Territories, the birthplace of hockey. Here, you'll find a community full of history and tradition. A community that Quaker surprised by transforming their arena kitchen into a Quaker breakfast bar. Stocked with our Canadian whole grain oats, it's now a place to gather, to eat, and to celebrate. We're proud to feed the passion for hockey in the place where it all started. Because we believe no matter where you're from, you've got this.
Welcome back to the Jack for U Sports Final 8 semifinal action. Well, what could have been the feel-good story of the championship was cut short yesterday when Carleton guard and Calgary product MJ Okada went down late against Laval with a lower body injury. Post-game, in a wheelchair, MJ was surrounded by his teammates as he rolled up to the giant bracket in the Jack Simpson Gymnasium and symbolically put his team through to the semifinals. Now, dozens of students, staff, and fans from MJ's old stomping grounds, Dr. Gordon Higgins School, were here to support him during the game, and today MJ is supporting from the sideline. Now, his Nationals roommate, Cedric Biaba, who just got a great fast break bucket, says the Ravens will really need to embrace a next man up mentality, especially as they look to slow down the National Player of the Year. Arash?
Yeah, Cammie, I mean, what a story Okada has been. 5th year from Calgary, as you mentioned. As Toth is no good there. He's going to graduate with a communications degree, the first in his family to do it. Has 4 younger sisters that he's a role model to. And Okada, when he comes back home, he goes and speaks at schools and he tries to pay it forward to the next generation. There were so many, Jermaine, so many young, grade school students here yesterday watching MJ, and they had cardboard cutouts with his face on it. The imprint he's made as a role model and a mentor here in Calgary and on Carleton's campus has been significant.
It sure has, and if you're familiar at all with MJ's game and the fact that he is indeed an Edge Prep graduate, one of Eddie Richardson's guys, you can find it in the way that he plays. You saw it yesterday before he went down, how electric he is, how willing he is to make the extra play as well. And that's obviously something that is very contagious because you see your teammates out here are playing that exact same style of basketball today.
So a knee injury for Okada. He is out for the remainder of the Final 8. We wish him well in his recovery. His team has sliced the lead to 2 as Carleton's gone into their bench. Toth no good, and it's going to be Carleton ball, and the Ravens are just continuing to cycle bodies on and off the floor, and that's by design.
It sure is. That's what you want to do when you're dealing with a big stud on the floor like Aaron Rooms. Continually change the looks that he's got, and if you're able to get guys in off the bench at a high clip, he's going to have to continually change his approach, and that's what you want when you're going against Aaron Rooms. Don't let him get comfortable. Keep him guessing.
They want Rooms to really work. They want to try and make sure that he can be as winded as he can be late in the game, the Ravens do. And there's our first look at big number 15 for TMU, Andreas Solkonks. There he is, getting into the mix of things. 6'11", true stretch forward from Latvia, and he's just giving the Bold so many big minutes down the stretch of this regular season. All-Ontario matchup. It was a low-scoring Wilson Cup last Saturday, 66-56. Here's Rooms. Rebound up for grabs, and it's ripped down by the Ravens. Emmanuel Milan. Now Kiajuka. Back to Milan. And Carleton controls it. But the rebound finally brought down by Solkongs. Here's Rooms, has a step, gets the bump, and the bucket.
It's just a matter of time before we saw Aaron Rooms finally do what he does best, that is draw that contact, welcome it, and finish through one. In yesterday's game, Aaron only had one free throw attempt, and you know that is something that has got to go up in today's game, and the only way he's going to get to the line is to continue to be aggressive, draw contact, and finish through it all.
Yeah, we spoke with Dave DeViro this morning, the TMU coach. He told us, look, Aaron needs to have a better game than he did in the OUA final when he scored 16. Completes the three-point play. And he remains on the floor, hasn't taken a breather yet. Rooms missed some open shots against the Ravens last week. And what a game it was yesterday for TMU. They trailed by as many as 19 in the first half. It was an 18-point deficit at the break, and there was no panic from TMU as Carleton goes inside. Shot redirected. Biaba's foul. So you're down 18 at the half. And DeViro said at no point did I think that we're out of this game. He said it's the FIBA, it's the 24-second shot clock. And the Bold have played so many games. Room said, we have been in this situation so many times before. The situation is familiar for us.
One more, Phil, right here we go.
Next weekend, right here on CBC Sports, it is the BioSteel U Sports Volleyball Championships, the men's national championship from Windsor. You can catch it on CBC Sports, Radio Canada, CBC Gem, and all of the platforms. The Bold lead by 3. 2.5 minutes to go in the opening quarter. Maxime Louis-Jean coughs it up. Here comes Aubrey Dory Havens of the Ravens, the engine of this offense. And a reach.
I like you bringing up the fact that Dory Havens is indeed the engine, a guy that also likes contact. And we saw in yesterday's game, took a couple shots to the face, little 1-2, and a biscuit, shook it off, and kept attacking the basket. That's the kind of dogged play that a guy like MJ Okada can have on his teammates. And you see right in line is Dory Havens.
The move, the hook shot, it slips out for Koulibaly. And here comes Carleton, but there he is, Dory Havens with the pick. Left alone is Tyler Brown. And it'll stay Carleton ball. So give Tyler Brown credit, he hasn't come out shy. He's come out firing from the perimeter. He is 0 for 3 from the floor, but he knows that he's got to make an impact here, especially with Okada out. Brown's a freshman from London, Ontario, being thrust into this role in the national semifinal. Here's Nelson Cillian. No good off the left hand. Biaba underneath, and the big fella with the muscle finishes.
Get those forearms up, clear out the defense, and second chance opportunities will abound. How about that take?
6'6", the fifth-year man, originally from Ottawa. Here's Rooms again, and he's short. Rooms opening 2 of 6 from the floor in this national semifinal, has played all 9 minutes.
Another slow start here seemingly for Aaron Rooms, and again, that can be the product of changing schemes against him continually. And that's essentially what you're seeing here early on from Carleton. Keep changing coverage, keep changing his defenders, wear him out a little bit.
Yeah, when we spoke with Dory Havens yesterday, he said, look, we just got to be physical on Aaron. And they have been so far.
Well, certainly.
Here is Dory Havens. Kicks it out. The triple for Cillian doesn't fall. Rebound brought in by Maxime Louis-Jean. Our first look at Gurdeep Kelsey on the left wing. On the right wing, excuse me, swung over there on the left. So just like last week, low scoring affair. It was 66-56 last Saturday, now 13-12 in this one so far.
You know how it is when old rivals get to it. Defensive battles, for sure. Nip and tough. Every basket means so much when rivals get to it.
We've seen a lot of Koulibaly. The dish, the block, and TMU wants to run. This is DeAndre Goulbourne. Swung over to Gurdeep Kelsey. Everybody's getting a touch, including Solkonks. That doesn't go, but it's controlled by the Ravens. They can hold for the final shot. Aubrey Dory Havens retreats. Here's DK. No call. The Carleton bench hoping for a whistle. And after one, two rivals that know each other well. Points have become a premium. 13-12, TMU leads after one. You're watching the U Sports National Men's Basketball Championships on CBS.
Life just got real. You got into university. Fully furnished, all-inclusive student housing for peace of mind. This is your first taste of adult life, independence, momentum, possibility. A community that's ready for you, with everything you need to be your best self. Space to focus, enough room to breathe. A place that's truly yours, with space for the people you'll meet along the way. Minutes from campus. Student Housing Calgary. This is where it starts.
First quarter in the books, TMU with a 1-point lead. When Bold All-Star Aaron Rooms talks about success, it's all about his support system and a bit of a good luck charm, courtesy his sister Zoe. Zoe is a world-class cook and the glue of the family, according to Mom Marsha. And Zoe and Marsha are fixtures at TMU games, and they do not come empty-handed. Mac and cheese, chicken, greens, and it's not just for Aaron. They are making sure the whole team is well-fed, especially the guys who aren't from Ontario. In particular, against Ontario Tech, Rooms dropped 38 points and was rewarded with 5 dozen homemade chocolate chip cookies, which is his favorite. This is a guy who's had plenty of opportunities to go south of the border, but things like this give you a window into part of why he chose to stay. This is all about home and family. So no matter how this weekend shakes out for TMU, you can bet there will be chocolate chip cookies waiting when he returns home. But Aaron Rooms would sure like to bring back the Bold's first men's basketball national championship with him. Arash?
Yeah, Cam, you spend time talking to Aaron. He talks about how important legacy is for him, especially on campus at TMU, as the three is short from Kelsey. His line was, I found a home where I'm surrounded by guys that care for me, that support me, that I've got love for, and where I've grown up. And playing in front of Mom and playing in front of Zoe matters so much to Aaron. It
sure does, and Aaron is definitely practicing what he preaches when it comes to the growth of Canadian basketball. You're talking about the number 5 pick in the 2024 CEBL draft to the Edmonton Stingers, a bona fide pro and a Canada basketball legend already.
He opens the second quarter on the bench. DeBiro trying to manage his minutes as DeAndre Goulbourne with a step back Jay from the extended elbow. And TMU has a 5-point lead. You saw the stats briefly. haven't been pretty for Carleton. 5 of 23 from the floor.
Yep, tough sledding here for the Ravens early on, definitely. They're getting good looks. They're getting second chance opportunities as well, but 5 of 25 now after that miss. Definitely not going to cut it, but still only down by 5. Good spot to be in.
In transition, hard collision. Maxime Louis-Jean went shoulder first into the stanchion. A couple of free throws coming up for the sophomore from Montreal.
And now you see what happens when you stay aggressive. Louis-Jean is going to get touched up at the top and get himself a couple free throws. TMU, continues to run in transition, which is their MO here in this one, and it's got them here up by 5.
Timeout, Taffy Charles will step aside. You're watching the U Sports Final 8 on CBC.
Feel every hit, goal, and celebration as if you're standing right on the sideline, immersing you in the game like never before, bringing heart-pounding action directly to millions of fans. We deliver unparalleled simplicity and tailor-made digital broadcasting solutions crafted to make you feel every moment in a way like never before. Our passionate team ensures your message reaches audiences reliably every time. Proudly Canadian, we bring a touch of innovation and our passion to the world stage. ISI Live, be there.
Delaney, Northwest Territories, the birthplace of hockey. Here, you'll find a community full of history and tradition. A community that Quaker surprised by transforming their arena kitchen into a Quaker breakfast bar. Stocked with our Canadian whole grain oats, it's now a place to gather, to eat, and to celebrate. We're proud to feed the passion for hockey in the place where it all started. Because we believe no matter where you're from, you've got this.
National semifinal, you see Taffy Charles and the Carleton Ravens on the left, Dave DeViro, the head coach of the Bold, on the right. 2 veteran coaches who used to go at it back in the day when DeViro was the head coach at the University of Ottawa and Charles was an assistant under Dave Smart. They know each other so well. The Ravens, 17 national championships in school history. Their last one was 3 years ago. The Bold looking for their first one. Last trip to the Final 8 for TMU was back in 2019. They got to the title game in 2017, 2018. They came up short then. Maxime Louis-Jean, sophomore from Montreal, knocks down a couple of free throws. Played for 2 different CEGEPs before arriving at TMU. And they use him a lot. A real toughness that Louis-Jean gives them. A beautiful pass, and what a finish underneath from Nelson Cillian.
Love to see backdoor cuts. That means guys are engaged, especially out of a timeout. Get to the basket and force that TMU defense to collapse on the interior.
Here's Gurdeep Kelsey. Misfires. Rebound. Dory Havens. Controlled by Tyler Brown. They're trying to find Milan in the middle. Good interior defense here from the Bold. Cillian again as the shot clock winds down. And for a team that rebounds so well offensively, very few second chance opportunities for the Ravens so far.
By design, you see TMU packing things on the interior, like you said, not wanting to give them second chance opportunities. Keep them to one and done and see if you can get flying down the other way.
Here's Dory Havens, hell of a leader for the Carleton Ravens. And a charge. Was he in the restricted area? So foul Carleton. Aaron Rooms gets a breather for 2:46, and now the National Player of the Year is back in the ballgame.
That he is. He's already had a longer break in this game than he did all of yesterday's game. So I expect Aaron Rooms to at least play out the remainder of this half and get plenty of touches on the way.
He has 6 points so far. Team high for the Ravens. There's Gabe Gutsmore. And a charge, so back-to-back offensive fouls. Guards trying to create off the dribble, and defenders standing their ground.
Yeah, and that's what happens when you understand that an offense is going to be trying to get to the basket. If you're able to get there in time, square up those shoulders, remain 12-6. It's an easy whistle to blow for the ref. That's a great defensive play on the inside by the Ravens.
Talked to Taffy Charles about Dory Havens, who took that charge. You know, when Aubrey showed up, a nice little finish there by Biaba. When Aubrey showed up, he came in with 3 other guys. They're all gone. 2 went south of the border, another to SFU. But it was Dory Havens who said, no, I want to be here. I want to be part of a premier program that's won championships. Charles said, look, he's bought into being here. He doesn't feel like he should be anywhere else, and that alone is hard to find. So too is a guard willing to sacrifice his body as Gutsmore comes downhill.
And that's exactly the kind of player you want to have if you're Carleton, someone who wants to be a part of this program. Ooh.
Boom indeed. There's Greg Dorsey, the freshman from Halifax. A splash for this 19-year-old. And mom and dad have made the trip from Nova Scotia. They're here to watch the rookie in his first Final 8. Tyler Brown, welcome to the National Championships.
Yes, that's right. Gonna have to get it up a lot quicker than that, especially when somebody as long and lean as Goldborn is on that perimeter. Got to get it up fast.
The junior from Toronto, DeAndre Goldborn. And 1.3 seconds, but they say Bold ball. And we have a timeout on the floor from TMU. Taffy Charles didn't like the call. He's got an argument. 5-point game, TMU.
Tell you, man, the guys are just going to talk it over right now through this break. And you've seen here on the last couple plays, TMU has been able to penetrate that Carleton defense on the inside. Guarantee you, Dave DeVero is definitely going to echo those same sentiments. Continue to ram, continue to cram, collapse that defense, and maybe, just maybe, we'll end up at the free throw line as well.
So the Bold come in on a 9-game win streak, and yesterday's win may have been the most impressive. They were down by 18 and to UBC and came back and won. They get 5 triples from Gabe Gutsmore. They get 5 threes from Kevin Toth, who just said, hey, I was in heat check mode. And it's amazing that at no time did confidence waver from the Bold in that comeback win over the T-Birds.
Yeah, they could have easily folded, to be honest. Down early on. Aaron Roos not having the best game early on either. They could have easily folded and give it up, but not in the TMU Bold's DNA to fold. Great job getting through it. Gutsmore, like you said, 32 minutes, 23 points, and an amazing second half, and a legendary comeback win that I'm sure that these guys will never forget.
Here's Gutsmore again. Runs into Biaba. And now Carleton. We keep saying it. They like to run, and drawing the foul is Aubrey Dory Havens. So we are in Calgary for the men's Final 8. In Quebec City, the women getting after it. National championship game at Université Laval goes tomorrow. How about the Rouge et Or winning as the 8th seed, as the host, knocking off TMU in the opening round. A banked 3 ended up being the game winner. You can watch that all on CBC Sports, CBC Gym, and the YouTube CBC Sports channel. Here in Calgary, TMU leads by 3. In the first of our 2 national semifinals, Bishops and Victoria will follow. This is Kevin Toth. He finds Aaron. Look at the ball movement here. DeAndre Goulbourne, no. Rebound up for grabs, brought in by Tyler Brown, and a loose ball foul going the other way.
And that is exactly the defensive possession you want to see if you're a Carleton Raven. Any single time that Aaron Rooms is going to set that phantom screen and dive to the basket, he's got to have black and red jerseys in his grill immediately. And you've seen it here on the last couple times when Rooms catches the ball in the elbow. He's got no choice but to give up the basketball.
Both coaches expected this to be physical too, and the Ravens have done such a great job on Rooms. Aaron's been held to 6 points in 11 minutes. Now here's Dorsey on Koulibaly. Koulibaly, right-hand hook shot, doesn't go. It's Brown underneath. He gets it up, it doesn't fall. Biaba corrals it. To the top to Kiajuka. Dylan Kiajuka. Back to Nelson Cillian. And the floater falls, and that is what Carleton, that's their DNA. Offensive rebound, second chance opportunities, and convert.
Yeah, and that's what you get when you get high effort guys, high motor guys on the offensive side of the basketball as well. Don't give up when the ball gets up. When it goes off the orange, crash the glass, secure that basketball. You got 14 seconds to try to get another look at it. Use every bit of it and get a good look.
So the Ravens out-rebounding TMU 22-14. On the season, they're a plus 14 team on the offensive glass. And a moving screen there on Kelsey. Good sell job by Cillian. A veteran showing the Rook how it's done.
That's right, gamesmanship, a game within the game right there. Got to understand that if you're even going to set that screen at all, you can't be moving those shoulders, feet, or hips. Keep it straight, 12-6.
So here's Cillian, the top defensive player in the Ontario Conference. He stares down Kelsey. The shot doesn't go. The freshman with the rebound. Two rookies on the floor for TMU. Now Rooms going to work on Cillian. The double team comes, and Cedric Biaba forces the turnover. Fifth year on fifth year there. Now Kiajuka. And Carleton has the lead. Their first of the night. Here come the Ravens.
Started on the defensive side. Once again, Aaron Rooms unable to operate when he's got 3-4 jerseys in his face. Bold have got to do a better job getting open, maybe some baseline cuts, hit the corners as well, give him some targets.
Rooms has been held off the score sheet in the second quarter. 3 way off from Toff. And the momentum has shifted Carleton's way. First lead of the night for the Ravens. Biaba looking to dish, does to Dory Havens, and he's fouled.
And again, Aubrey Dory Havens not only can create for himself, but for teammates as well. But when he's unafraid and playing like this, like we saw in yesterday's game, when he's able to get to that painted area and just kind of create from there, it puts the Ravens in such an advantageous position offensive-wise, because defenses now are going to have to start worrying about Aubrey Dory Havens, and that's going to free up some cuts.
Dory Havens told us, hey, look, we're ready to go. The junior from Vancouver chose to come to Carleton because the pedigree of the program. He said, look, it's the best program in the country, simple as that. He hopes to get to the pros when his youth sports career is wrapped up. There's Goulbourne, no good from the perimeter. And it'll be Carleton ball. So it was Carleton that couldn't buy a bucket early. Now TMU is struggling from the floor. They're 8 of 23 from the field. This is old school basketball. 22-21 with under 3 minutes to go in the first half. We had 2 games last night. Vic put up 100, Bishop's 98. These two teams are on pace to maybe crack 50.
Maybe being the key word there, and that's how it can tend to become tournament time. With each progressing day, each progressing time, minutes start to add up. Defenses now are a lot more prepared for the offenses they'll be facing, and those scores really start to dwindle as tournaments go on. You love to see it if you're a defensive stalwart.
Here's Dylan Kiajuka getting a lot more run here with the injury to MJ Okada. He coughs it up. Gurdeep Kelsey. Now Maxime Louis-Jean finds Dorsey, who's fouled, and one. How about the Rook? Greg Dorsey getting into the mix.
And that is his second screen and dive we have seen from Greg Dorsey here today. 2 for 2 on him. Just look, he's going to come here, give you a little flake screen. Perfect pass into the pocket, and he takes it right at the outstretched arms there of the defender at the rim. And just like that, Greg Dorsey, once again, is going to be at the line. You love his process.
Yeah, and here you have a freshman. 17 minutes in the national quarterfinal against UBC yesterday. Can't complete the three-point play. Dorsey started high school at Halifax West, then got a call from a prep school in Rothsay, New Brunswick, spent the next 3 years of high school there before enrolling at engineering at TMU. The Bold lead by 1, another one and done for the Ravens after Dory Havens is no good from distance.
That's what you want to see if you're a Bold right now. Make sure you secure that ball off the rim. No second chances for Carlton.
Koulibaly rejects Goulbourne. And Dory Havens will slow it down, reset it. 11 on the shot clock. And a whistle away from the ball. I think it was Kelsey who may have bumped Emmanuel Suzuma. So quality minutes from Greg Dorsey for the Bold. Andreas Solkonks comes in for him.
Yeah, you're just going to see, get a little wrap-up action. Easy whistle for the official to blow as they got Kelsey underneath.
Emmanuel Suzama, sophomore from Gatineau, Quebec. Other side of the bridge from Ottawa. Transfer from a junior college in the U.S. has come back home. Ties the game at 23, 90 seconds to go in the first half. And there's Maxime Louis-Jean from the left elbow. Louis-Jean's the kind of player who can get hot. He's the kind of player who can shoot it. Late in the year, had big moments for the Bold on their run to a Ontario championship. The handoff, the misfire from Milan. And it's going the other way. Foul was on Milan.
Now you see the effect there of Andres Silkanox into the game, 6'11", using every bit of that frame to secure the basketball off the rebound, getting fouled, and now he's got a chance to maybe get a couple points here added to his ledger.
So what a road it's been for Solkonks from Riga, Latvia. Then he went to Tallahassee State College, one season at a JUCO there before landing at TMU. Don't forget, coming up in a couple of weeks, the University Cup, the hockey championships in Halifax, Nova Scotia. We'll have it for you March 19th to 22nd. The Bold lead by 3, final minute of the opening half. Here's Tyler Brown. Now Biaba draws a crowd, kick back out to Brown, slips out. Rebound controlled by the Ravens. Cillian throws it up, looked like it was more of a lob. Wasn't a good pass as Rooms, who really hasn't been able to ignite in this second quarter, hands it off to Kelsey. Now Aaron is short. And a 2-second or so differential between the shot and game clocks. Could be the final possession of the opening half, and it's in the hands of Aubrey Dory Havens. They got to get it off, and bailed out. Gurdeep Kelsey looks at Andreas Solkonks and says, why? It was almost as if the Ravens didn't know what was happening with the shot clock.
And you're going to see that any single time you got a swinging motion up top, even late in the game, regardless of how much time is on the clock, the ref is liable to blow the whistle. You have to contest without coming across over the top.
And it's not just 2, it's 3 free throws for Dory Havens, who told us yesterday, look, I'm trying to find my balance as an emotional player. He's been thrust into a leadership role now in year 3. He's grown as a leader, becoming more of a stable presence for the Ravens. Knocks down all 3 free throws to tie this thing. At 26 apiece, TMU's not even going to try and heave, and Carleton down the stretch of this second quarter playing some quality basketball and getting good production out of the engine of their offense.
Yes, that's right, indeed. Aubrey Dory Havens showing you what he's made of. He knew he had to be a bigger part of the scoring front here for the Carleton Ravens with Okado out, and he has done just that here, keeping this game tied and also doing a great job of keeping rooms off of that score sheet.
26 apiece. TMU led for most of the first half. Carleton has tied it at the break. Let's go down to Cammie Kepke.
Don't call me, what's his name next time?
We're live now, we're going. Well, a wild first half here. How was your team able to stay in this one after TMU took that early lead?
Yeah, again, it's a dogfight. This is the third game we played against them, so we're pretty familiar with each other, offensively. So again, we're just jamming each other up, not giving them the easy looks. They're not giving us easy looks, and we're not giving them easy looks. We're really taking away. Each team is taking away their best player. So then now it's about the rest of the guys. So we're gonna need some other guys to make some plays.
Everyone has been waiting for the rematch from last Saturday. How has your team adjusted since then?
Yeah, again, I mean, obviously, it's hard to believe that it was a week ago. There's been a lot of things that have happened a week. We've traveled, 4,000 kilometers, practices, injuries. So a lot's happened in the last week. But we played them last week. So I thought we didn't play very well last week. I thought we've done much better today. But again, it's another half. We'll see what happens.
Yesterday, we saw MJ put the sticker on the bracket out there and the team rallying around him. How has your group embraced the next man up mentality?
Yeah, again, unfortunately, that's the way of the world. Unfortunately, he's hurt, and again, it's really heartbreaking for him, and our whole team's heartbroken for him. But again, he'd want us to try and figure out a way to get a victory for him.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
More analysis after the break. You're watching the U Sports Men's Basketball Final 8 on CBC.
All right, we're gonna start.
Le sport en direct sur ICTout.tv. 100% énergie. 100% gratuit. Votre meilleur plan de match pour voir des performances exceptionnelles. Des athlètes de grand talent. Des sports de haut niveau. Tout ça sur l'appareil de votre choix. C'est simple et gratuit sur ICTout.tv.
It's not just about the victory. It's about the moments leading up to it. BioSteel, the fuel behind every victory.
Thirsty? With 5 essential electrolytes and 0 sugar, BioSteel is the game changer you've been looking for. All of the good stuff with no extras and no gimmicks, just clean, healthy hydration. Trusted by pro athletes since 2009. Steel sharpens steel.
Well, there's a lot of fantastic players on this TMU team, but one player that has really stuck out on this side, specifically for his defense and his highlight blocks, has been DeAndre Goldburn, just getting absolute huge rejections in both games and throughout his season. We got an opportunity to have these 2-minute features with student athletes. Here's DeAndre's right here.
Hi, my name is DeAndre. I'm studying community engagement. I play shooting guard for TMU basketball. Started in elementary, in grade 5, and I started taking it serious in high school. Versatile. I'm often defensive player. We move the ball. We just get each other better, lifting each other up on the court and stuff like that. Just staying engaged, staying focused on the task at hand, and following our scout on who we play every game. I don't look up to no one but myself. Tough at times. Because of school and off, it's pretty cool. You get a stay athlete because everyone wants to play. It's a fun sport, and you get a lot of look to you can do a lot of things with basketball. It takes you far places or something like that. We look forward because it's my first national. Most of our first nationals playing, and to be successful, just follow the scout and just yeah.
A great story from a great athlete. We have more coming up. You're watching Final 8 U Sports on CBC.
It's not just about the victory. It's about the moments leading up to it. BioSteel, the fuel behind every victory.
Thirsty? With 5 essential electrolytes and 0 sugar, BioSteel is the game changer you've been looking for. All of the good stuff with no extras and no gimmicks, just clean, healthy hydration. Trusted by pro athletes since 2009. Steel sharpens steel.
Feel every hit, point, and celebration as if you're standing right on the sideline. Our passionate team unlocks a world of possibilities with digital broadcasting made simple, bringing heart-pounding action directly to millions of fans. Proudly Canadian, ISI Live, be there.
Hey U Sports fans, check out shop.usports.ca for this week's promotional item from the Nike Team Collection. Visitez le shop.usport.ca pour en profiter de la promotion de la semaine de la collection Nike Team.
Welcome back to the Jack Simpson. Our next feature is on a defensive juggernaut in Nelson Saline. He won the conference Defensive Player of the Year, and you've seen it in the last 2 games, what he can do on the defensive side of the ball. He can get that offense. He can make that defense lead to the offense, and we got an opportunity to talk to him in this feature right here.
So hi, my name is Nelson Saline. I'm from Montreal, Quebec. I'm from Carlton. I'm studying criminology and criminal justice, and I'm playing as a guard. I started to play basketball because of my sister. I started at 10 years old, and since then, that's my favorite sport. I'm describing my style of playing as a hustling guy, defensive player who just wants to win. My teammates helped me to become a better player by holding me accountable, pushing me every day, and just being in the gym and working on my game with them. My greatest accomplishment in basketball is winning 2 national championships with Carlton, and this year winning my first Defensive Player of the Year in OUA. I think basketball is growing popularity in Canada because we have a lot of talents. I feel like it get everyone together, and it's just a fun sport to watch. My team and I were looking to win this tournament, and this is special because for most of the guys on my team, that's their first time being a national, and that means a lot for them and for me as well. So we're just looking forward to, first game tomorrow against Laval, playing hard, and winning game by game till the final.
Well, Nelson and his Ravens right now are tied at 26 apiece. They are a half away for potentially revisiting the national championship. We'll see if they get there. Lots of more basketball is ahead. You're watching the Final 8 U Sports on CBC.
Where exceptional student athletes are born. Where records are broken. Where great plays are made. Where school colors ignite passion. Where champions prevail. Where tradition is celebrated. Ontario University Athletics.
That's embarrassing. You know it's not embarrassing? Using FIG for a home improvement loan. A quick, simple, and transparent offer in minutes. Borrow better with FIG.
Life just got real. You got into university. Fully furnished, all-inclusive student housing for peace of mind. This is your first taste of adult life, independence, momentum, possibility. A community that's ready for you, with everything you need to be your best self. Space to focus, enough room to breathe. A place that's truly yours, with space for the people you'll meet along the way. Minutes from campus. Student Housing Calgary. This is where it starts.
Well, halftime here, the Jack Simpson Gym, Arash Madani alongside Jermaine Cummings. Look, it's 26-all at the half. So it seems that TMU's 7-point lead is a huge one when points are this hard to come by. But it's amazing when you look at a couple of these stats. One of these teams is 0 for 10 from three-point territory. Another has just knocked down a couple of three-point shots. This has fallen right into how Carleton wanted this game to go.
There are people all around the basketball universe right now rejoicing at what we're seeing. A return to what basketball should be. Nip and tuck, rebounding battles in the paint, elbows up, offensive fouls being blown on both sides of the floor. This is what championship-style basketball looks like, everyone. 2 for 10, like Arash just said, from range for TMU. And even worse, nothing, 0 from Carleton in that first half. And let's not talk about that rebounding disparity. 11 offensive rebounds for the Ravens to TMU's just 1. Offensive rebounding, just in case you didn't know, that is effort. Those are 100% effort plays right now, and Carleton doing a great job of securing the ball on the offensive side of the floor.
Rematch of last week's Wilson Cup. That game was decided 66-56, trending that it's going to be much less scoring. This is what the Ravens wanted. They wanted ugly, they wanted physical, they wanted to dominate on the glass. And Aaron Rooms has gone quiet. The National Player of the Year has not scored a point in this second quarter. The Bold need him to get going.
That they do. Only 7 shot attempts for Aaron Rooms in the first half. A lot like yesterday's game for TMU. So that, if you were a TMU, it's a bright spot. It's like, look, Aaron was slow getting out of the gates yesterday, but we were able to pick it up after the halftime break. And speaking of halftime, I don't know if you realize, Daraj, TMU took a very long time getting back out onto the floor. Feel like Dave DeVaro could have been moving some furniture in that halftime room, if you know what I'm saying. You know he's a fiery guy. Let's see if he's able to get it out of his guys in the second half.
They trailed by 18 at the break yesterday. It's an altogether different kind of basketball game. Rooms had it going early on, scoring the 6, but then he went quiet, and it's just kind of been back and forth. Let's go courtside with Cami Kepke.
We're here with Bold head coach David DeVero. The rematch is delivering on drama so far. Carleton ties it on free throws heading into the break. What message did you have for your group in there?
I just think they're out hustling us. They're really imposing their will on us right now. You can see that by the offensive rebounds that we're giving up. They're just outworking us right now. We're not sharing the ball. We're not composed right now. We need to slow down a little bit and get a little bit more composed.
It's no secret that the team is here with the goal of bringing home the program's first national championship in men's basketball. Do you want these guys to approach this second half like it's any other game, or is this a group that thrives when they know what the stakes are?
Well, we've been in a lot of close games this year, so I think we know how to play in those situations. We just need to play better than what we did there. I think we're in pretty good shape, and because we didn't play well, and we're still in this game. It's a tie game, so hopefully we'll play a little bit better in the second half.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Arash, back to you.
Cami, Coach, thank you so much for the time. Tied indeed, 26 apiece. It has been ugly, it has been physical, and it is exactly what the Ravens wanted. Second half underway, our first national semifinal of this U Sports Final 8. Coming up next, Bishops and Victoria. Opening shot doesn't fall for Gutsmore. One and done trip as this third quarter is underway at the University of Calgary. Alongside Cami Kepke, Josh Arbuthnot, Arash Madani, and Jermaine Cummings courtside. Two Ontario rivals, two coaches that know one another quite well. Ravens missing one of their energy players, one of their emotional players. It was yesterday, MJ Okado, the fifth-year man from Calgary, suffered a knee injury. He is out today. Tyler Brown has stepped in for him. Here's Cedric Biaba. It doesn't fall. Aaron Rooms with the rebound. Second half yesterday is when Kevin Toth really got going. Gives it up to Gutsmore, and a moving screen on Rooms.
And that's the second one called here today against Aaron Rooms. And I feel like the ball handler may have to wait a little bit. They're rushing. Aaron Rooms is not getting time to set that screen, and therefore he's getting called for the moving screen while trying to get through it.
What an ad Biaba has been for the Ravens. He coughs it up there, came over from Laurentian University as a transfer, originally from Ottawa. Toth regains possession. Gutsmore into traffic. Looking for Aiden Wilson, and the pass wasn't there. We wondered at the start of the game what kind of minutes Aiden Wilson would get. Number 22, their fifth-year senior, only 6 minutes on the floor. He's a little banged up, also dealing with a virus. More up-tempo. Here's Gutsmore, hounded by Cillian, the top defender in the OUA. Hounding, double, turnover.
And again, you see what happens when TMU gets indecisive in the painted area. It's a rush of black and gold. The Ravens putting so much pressure on the interior. It's going to be up to TMU to adjust.
Brown again. And a foul underneath. Brown keeps shooting. 0 for 7 from distance. But the confidence hasn't wavered, and a minute 46 in, there goes Aiden Wilson to the bench.
Yeah, definitely expected at this point when it comes to Aiden Wilson. But take a look here, as granted, it's not going to go down, but shooters indeed shoot, and Brown is going to continue to do that.
Here's Rooms, and that's got to be a goaltend, and it's called. So Rooms finally gets on the box score for the first time since the opening quarter. Koulibaly, you saw the athleticism jumping out of the gym, but the ball was on the way down. 2 minutes gone by, third quarter, 2 points scored in this third quarter. Dory Havens, no. Here comes Todd. Inside to Salkons. The handoff to Rooms. The pull-up, no. And Koulibaly the rebound. Is Brown again going to go? No, he's going to drive. And off the window this time. So at last, on the score sheet is Tyler Brown. Thrust into the starting lineup, is now 1 of 9 from the floor, and has tied this thing back up at 28. Four on the shot clock. Here's Toth. Out of necessity, had 5 threes in the second half yesterday. Now Biaba into traffic and the finish. Carleton takes only its second lead of the night.
Great job reading and reacting, and said Biaba gives you elbows and angles, moves the defense out the way and gets to the front of the class, raise his hand for 2 more points.
And another moving screen on the Bold. Four team fouls already on TMU. Not even 3.5 minutes into the third quarter.
And this time, it's jutting out that hip. And again, when you're setting a screen, you have to remain straight up and down. Hips in line with shoulders, in line with feet. If any of those are out of alignment, the ref is most certainly going to blow the whistle.
Biaba again. What a force underneath. Rejection by Solkonks. It'll remain Carleton ball. 12 on the shot clock. Biaba left alone. Money. Ravens lead by 5. Here's Maxime Louis-Jean, back to Rooms. Answer. Relief from Rooms. He's now got 11. And can that get the National Player of the Year going? Aaron told us we have to play with energy. We have to have desperation with our energy. Doesn't fall that time for Koulibaly. Toth to Rooms. Back-to-back triples. Here comes Aaron Rooms. In the history of Toronto Metropolitan University, there's only been one OUA Player of the Year in men's basketball. It's Aaron Rooms. Dory Havens, late in the shot clock, tipped into the hands of Toth. Swung to Louis-Jean. And a terrific box out there from Aubrey Dory Havens.
Love what you're seeing here from TMU. Despite that shot not going down, ball movement looking good. And more importantly, how much more comfortable is Aaron Rooms looking as he causes that turnover right there? Just like we saw in yesterday's game. Sometimes it takes a little bit of time, but Aaron Rooms eventually gets there.
Carleton had its biggest lead of the night. At 5, Aaron Rooms erases it with back-to-back triples. TMU leads by 1 as we take a break here in this U Sports National Semifinal on CBC.
Delaney, Northwest Territories, the birthplace of hockey. Here, you'll find a community full of history and tradition. A community that Quaker surprised by transforming their arena kitchen into a Quaker breakfast bar. Stocked with our Canadian whole grain oats, it's now a place to gather, to eat, and to celebrate. We're proud to feed the passion for hockey in the place where it all started. Because we believe no matter where you're from, you've got this.
Well, we have twin matchups today with Carleton and TMU going head-to-head in the women's Final 8 consolation round in Quebec. That All-Ontario clash needed overtime where Carleton edged TMU 60-58. Tyann Matosis-Adderley was the difference maker for the Ravens. She sank a 3 with 1:18 to play. Former Calgary Dino and TMU standout Miriam Cohn hit a pair of free throws to make it a single-point game with under a minute left. But Matosis-Adderley nailed a late free throw to seal the win in the 5th place game. Overtime in playoff basketball. Man, with how close this one has been, you've got to wonder if it might be a little bit of foreshadowing, Arash.
Cammy, you wonder. TMU went into that women's championship, the #1 team. Laval, the host, upset them. On the main side of that draw, UNB has punched its ticket into the national championship game. What a run by the Reds. An AUS school will play for a gold medal tomorrow. Here's Rooms. He's short. One and done again. Carleton taking a minute to get their lineup. Quick breather coming up for Cedric Biaba. What a force he has been off the bench for these Ravens. Biaba has 13, a team high for Carleton.
Tell you, and it's on 5 of 8 shooting as well, scoring well, efficiently, and rebounding.
Triple from the corner. That's Mark DK. Rooms, fake, pops, way off. And it's Dory Havens who comes down with it. How about the contest on that triple from Rooms? Dory Havens looks at Kelsey, swings it into the corner. Milan, no. And another offensive rebound, except it's a loose ball foul going the other way.
And it is. 2 hands on the back, down low, moving Rooms out of the way. And yes, you cannot do that.
It was on Suzama. So now Carleton with a couple of team fouls. The Ravens lead by 2. Timeout, Dave DeViro. Let's go down to Cami Kepke.
Well, Cedric Biaba believes this team knows how to bounce back from a performance or even just a half that they didn't love. Cedric points to the Capital Hoops Classic. Carleton got bounced by the GGs by 20 points. He remembers they got humbled in front of their families. It felt bad, and the group came together and had a hard talk saying if they want to change their season and the way they play, the accountability has to be there. That provided a huge turning point, and even though they got a pretty handy win over Laval on Friday, there are aspects of that game that they wanted to clean up, and especially looking at the rematch from last Saturday. Experiences like the Capital Hoops Classic have shown Carleton that they know how to band together and get back to playing Ravens ball. Arash?
Yeah, Cammy, that was on February 6th, and they kind of looked at each other and said, we got to change things up here. We got to be accountable. And there were a lot of details that he talked about that needed to get taken care of. You wonder at times where a season can turn. And for the Carleton Ravens, it may have come on that opening Friday of 2026.
Yep, sometimes you need a little something to jog you back into position, and that may just be that same situation for Carleton. Now we see him hanging around in this game up by 2, and we'll see how this one turns out. But again, they could look back on that moment, and it be very, very pivotal in their 2026 season.
Rooms has the pass swatted away by Milan. We wondered about him in the open. How much of a factor defensively could he be on Rooms? What a matchup that has turned into tonight. Here's Cillian. Faces Rooms. Runs out of space. As the shot clock expires, it doesn't go for Milan. Or Suzama, rather. And Carleton can tie it here. They go to the big fella, and no good for Salkongs. Aubrey Dory Havens. There's a mismatch in the paint. Can they switch off? They haven't yet. It's DK from the perimeter, but Solkongs is able to rip it down. Into the corner. Louis-Jean, no. Kelsey, yes. Gurdeep Kelsey, the offensive rebound, the bucket, and the foul. And what a time the Bold getting that from their freshman.
Well, for only the second time in today's ball game, TMU able to secure an offensive rebound. And how about Gurdeep Kelsey? Making sure to finish through that contact, 2+1. And again, we're going to see if that changes the tide here for TMU as they can maybe, possibly, potentially secure some more offensive rebounds in this one.
Don't forget the University Cup, the Men's Hockey U Sports National Championship coming to Halifax, March 19th to 22nd. You can catch that on CBC Sports, CBC Sports Gem, and on the YouTube channel. Meanwhile, here in Calgary, 37-36, TMU leading Carleton, spotted in the national championship game on the line. And they're calling that a block. Kelsey whistled for the foul. Looked like Tyler Brown may have pushed off.
Yeah, and we're going to see here exactly what the officials saw. As you see Brown put it on the deck. And you see him extend the arm there, and that's why everyone was thinking initially it may have been an offensive foul, but the guys in gray, those officials saw it a different way, and just like that, Tyler Brown's at the line for a couple.
Neither go. Rebound tip to Toth. Here comes Aaron Rooms. And more physicality away from the ball. This time it's Dylan Kiajuka whistled for the foul. It is getting more and more of a slugfest inside that paint. And both teams now over the limit with 1 minute and 8 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Rooms for 3. Diaba in transition, and it's Kelsey who stripped him. Rooms comes down with it, and the arrow points to the Ravens with 16 on the shot clock.
Tough shooting night continues here for Aaron Rooms as he's now 5 of 14. I don't know if it's because it's the end of the season or if it's because the second game in as many days. Just looking a little flat-footed out there so far as Aaron Rooms. Everything is coming up short. Granted, he's being asked to do a ton on both ends of the floor, but he's used to it at this point. So we'll see if he can kind of shake off those cobwebs and get back to Aaron Rooms basketball after this timeout.
Yeah, part of the reason that Dave DeViro probably called that timeout, give his All-Canadian a breather. Let's go courtside to Josh Arbuthnot.
Well, over the last few years, we know that Carleton has had its dynasty and had its run. But during that run, it was able to beat a lot of fantastic NCAA teams, including the 2013 Final Four Wisconsin team that had NBA players like Fred VanVleet, the national champion, like Ron Baker, like Claire Anthony Early. They were able to beat a Providence team that had lockdown defender Chris Dunn. They were even able to beat a Cincinnati Bearcats team that had Sean Kirkpatrick. They faced other teams like Zion Williamson, Canadian RJ Barrett with the Duke Blue Devils, and it goes on and goes on. Just shows that Carleton, Arash and Jermaine, has always tried preseason and on to try to hit the top competition as they come into seasons.
Yeah, and Josh, it doesn't matter far and wide who the Ravens have played over the years, the success they've had, but maybe the stat that stands out the most. The Ravens in national championship games are 17-0. You get to the final Sunday at the Final Eight, it's a wrap.
Historically, that has proven to be the case, most certainly for Carleton. But if they get to the final Sunday and someone else is waiting on the other end, that is quite a juicy opportunity to make some new history.
Another foul away from the ball, this time on the inbound. It's Kelsey. And wasn't it interesting, talking to Taffy Charles this morning, he said, we're not satisfied winning one game at the Nationals. Talking about the win over Laval. He said, we won't be satisfied winning just today and getting to the national championship game. The point Charles made is the standard here is to win national championships. That's the culture. It's about being successful. He said, if we lose today, we aren't happy. If we lose tomorrow, we aren't happy. There's Dorsey. It's blocked by Kiajuka. The Ravens come up with it. Will they try a 2-for-1? Kiajuka gives it up to Biaba. And Cedric Biaba over Dorsey. And the Ravens are back up by 3. And now Biaba strips Rooms, who wanted a foul, doesn't get it. Kiajuka with the shot clock turned off. It doesn't go. The putback does from Luth Mohammed Koulibaly. Ravens' biggest lead of the day. 5. Rooms. 3. No. Kelsey loses it out of bounds. Carleton turns it up again. 10 minutes away from playing for an 18th national championship.
Life just got real. You got into university. Fully furnished, all-inclusive student housing for peace of mind. This is your first taste of adult life, independence, momentum, possibility. A community that's ready for you, with everything you need to be your best self. Space to focus, enough room to breathe. A place that's truly yours, with space for the people you'll meet along the way. Minutes from campus. Student Housing Calgary. This is where it starts.
Feel every hit, point, and celebration as if you're standing right on the sideline. Our passionate team unlocks a world of possibilities with digital broadcasting made simple, bringing heart-pounding action directly to millions of fans. Proudly Canadian, ISI Live, be there.
Back at the Jack Simpson Gymnasium after 3 quarters of play, Carleton leads TMU 42-37.
Take a look at these three-point shooting numbers for both Carleton and TMU. 4 for 16 and 2 of 19 respectively. We knew that these were going to be two teams battling it on the inside, and that is exactly what it is. And more importantly, look at this offensive rebounding number. 16 offensive rebounds to the point in this game for Carleton. These guys are getting to the glass, and when they're not finishing, they are doing everything they can to secure a second chance opportunity. And almost on his own, you know him, you love him. You're talking about a guy like Cedric Biaba, who has shown you not only the ability to score the basketball off of isolation plays, but of course he's thrown in his 2 cents when it comes to rebounding, to the tune of 8 in this game so far. Putting it up and having the guard Aaron Rooms on the other side, proven to be no big deal for Cedric Biaba. 10 more minutes to see if he can continue that same trajectory.
Fourth quarter, TMU Carleton, national semifinal, U Sports Final 8. The Bold have been to 2 national finals in their program history, left with silver medals. Carleton, you know their history. Aaron Rooms has made history on campus in downtown Toronto. He draws the foul and a couple of free throws coming up. Koulibaly, the fifth-year man, bumped him. So Aaron Rooms, the National Player of the Year. Only the third first-team All-Canadian that TMU has ever had. Knocks down both free throws. Shaves the lead down to 3. And here we go. Fourth quarter. 2 Ontario rivals. Winner of this gets the winner of Bishops and Victoria. We'll have that for you next. Inside they go. Koulibaly, no. It's Tyler Brown and the shot clock. Now, did that ball hit the rim?
From my vantage point, I don't think it did. I don't think it did, and that's exactly the case that TMU is making. Now, we see that Taffy Charles feels differently, but like I'm saying, from our vantage point, I think that thing sailed right over the rim right there.
So, no, they're going to call it a shot clock violation. Our officials today, Cooper Toppings, Ryan Langdon, and Neil Donnelly. Andreas Solkonks at the top, looking for Kevin Toth. Instead retreats to Rooms with 5 on the shot clock. Aaron, the fadeaway is short. Ravens ball. Rooms now 5 of 16 from the floor tonight.
Yep, and to that point, another shot that came up way short. Again, it doesn't seem like he's got his legs under him here. Actually, this entire tournament here so far, it didn't seem like he's got it. So, granted, we're going to see if he can dig a little deeper here and get to it, because the guy's only down by 3. Still plenty of time left in this one as well.
Inside to Koulibaly, goes to work on Rooms, swung out to Cillian. And are they gonna whistle Goulbourne for the foul? They are. Needless foul there by the junior from Toronto.
Yeah, especially since it came off the rim, and a great opportunity for maybe TMU to get out on the run. But like you said, just one slip of a mental trip right there, and they've got to run it back for 14 more seconds.
And there's the bucket. So here comes Carleton. If it's not offensive rebounds, it's second chance points. Emmanuel Milan with the jumper there. 4 for Milan, who's been so good defensively. 3 times tonight, the Ravens have led by 5, and there's Cillian, who bumped on the right wing. looking for space. There's not a lot. Gutsmore draws the foul. Luth Mohamed Koulibaly thought he was there in time, but it's Gutsmore who's going to the stripe.
Gotta tell you something about Gabe Gutsmore here, and he's just showing you what he's made of. He's got the guts, does Gutsmore. All game long, getting to his spot, which is those anchors there on either side of the key, and will pull up. Contact or not, he's gonna get a good look, and if not, he'll get himself to the free throw line to boot.
Gutsmore, a junior from Brampton, went to prep school in Atlanta, spent a couple of years down there in Georgia at age 18, 19, left home to get better as a basketball player. So it was difficult on him. Leaving Ontario, new culture, new brand of basketball, had to learn, had to adapt. He gets the lead down to 4. Torrey Havens from Cillian. And a poor offensive possession there from Carleton. Now Kelsey. Rooms comes up with it. No call. And rebound snatched down by Koulibaly, who runs the floor, dishes it off to Tyler Brown. Rebound up for grabs. Another offensive board for the Ravens. And how about Brown, who kept shooting, and on his 9th three-point attempt, it's Brown who gives the Ravens their biggest lead of the night.
Shooters shoot regardless of the result, and Brown is showing you what persistence can do. Keep firing it up. Eventually it's going to start to fall. Look no further than Brown's shot.
The fadeaway doesn't go for Louis Jean. Carleton emerges from the wreckage with it. TMU held to only 40 points so far. Cillian. Bold ball. Timeout on the floor. Carleton's biggest lead of the night. The TMU Bold trail by 7. Back to Calgary and this national semifinal after these on CBC Sports.
That's embarrassing. You know it's not embarrassing? Using FIG for a home improvement loan. A quick, simple, and transparent offer in minutes. Borrow better with FIG.
Hey, U Sports fans, check out shop.usports.ca for this week's promotional item from the Nike Team collection. Visitez le shop.usport.ca pour en profiter de la promotion de la semaine de la collection Nike Team.
Well, throughout the season, this TMU team, they average 80 points a game. They only give up 60. Right now, 6:29 left here in the fourth. That is split in half. We saw Aaron Rooms have the big third, cool down a little bit after that. Right now, Carleton doing what they do. They slowed the game down. Arash and Jermaine, when we saw them at those practices, they had crash pads out. They play a physical ball game, and we've seen them do that to a team that averages 80 overall in the season to just having 40 and almost halfway through the fourth. You can see what this Carleton defense can do to the best of any scorers in U Sport basketball.
Yeah, Josh, it's a good point. We spoke with Cedric Biaba yesterday, and Biaba had his battles when he was up there at Laurentian going up against Rooms. You know, part of what the Ravens want to do is make Rooms go left. But Biaba's point was this is going to be a collective effort. And the Ravens knew they couldn't get in foul trouble guarding Rooms. They haven't, as the hook shot goes there for Andreas Solkans. But the defensive plan on Rooms has been executed so well by Carleton so far.
That main word is execution. That's what we needed. And talking to Cedric Biaba yesterday, like you just said, Arash, he made sure to understand that it was a team effort here getting Aaron Rooms off his game, and that's what you've seen in this one. Everyone in black and red today has had a turn guarding Aaron Rooms. More times than not, 2, 3 guys even at one time, and you've seen how well that's worked out for him.
Yeah, I remember what Dory Havens told us too. He said, we all have to be ready to be a helper. We all have to be ready to go close out on 12. Here's Dory Havens with 5 on the shot clock. Pass a little too high. The Bold deep into their bench, 3 reserves. It'll stay TMU ball with 14 on the shot clock. Cillian, their top defender, comes in for Kiyojoka. And not a lot of Aiden Wilson, the 5th-year post for the Bold here in the second half. They get it to Gutsmore. No. And the interior defense has just been stifling from Carleton. DK, no. Tempo, pace. Here's Rooms. There's the help. There's the kick. There's the triple. Maxime Louis-Jean, all created because of the help on Aaron Rooms.
And now you see the benefit of having Aaron Rooms score so efficiently inside, and even when he's not, defenses are focused on him, which is going to give plenty of opportunities for that release pass and ensuing three-point shot.
Biaba underneath. Create some room for DK. Another offensive rebound for the Ravens. But this time it's Rooms who corrals it off the Cillian miss. Bold down 2, back to Rooms, the jumper, and we're tied. .70 spurt from the TMU Bold. DK again. This time it's money. Mark DK. What a time for the freshman to deliver the goods. Gutsmore into traffic. 4.3 on the shot clock for TMU. Under 4 minutes to play in this national semifinal. 2 conference rivals. 3rd time they faced one another. The last one was in the OUA championship game. It was the Bold that won the Wilson Cup. And yeah, that's the right call. Tyler Brown just held on to Gabe Gutsmore on the screen. 4th team foul on Carleton. The next one is bonus. Louis-Jean was running out of time. Here's Andreas Solkons. Rooms ran out of it. And Solkonks the foul.
And there it is again. You get Aaron Rooms on the runway, and Carleton doing a unbelievable job of smothering that dribble, and an even better job that time of taking away any kind of passing lane for Aaron Rooms to be able to give up the ball. And once again, they force another turnover out of his hands.
The Ravens have led by as many as 7. The Bold the same. Turnover forced by Gurdeep Kalsi. And a foul, and it's going to be free throws coming up for Maxime Louis-Jean. Carleton with their 5th team foul, and Louis-Jean, who had been favoring his elbow earlier in the game, is taking his time to get up.
Yeah, he got hit with the ball in the face here. Oh, Aaron Rooms say, hey, watch out now. Got to keep your head on a swivel when you're dealing with me. Look out.
call that a Kirk Cousins pass,
Oh,
where I come from.
Oh, shots fired. Not old Kirk Cousins.
Louis Jean, not a good free throw shooter. Hits it at 46% from the line through the season. But late in the year, man, oh man, as Maxime Louis Jean had big moments for the Bold. Knocks down both. 1 point game. Dory Havens off the screen. Had a little space. Brown again. Offensive rebound again. And a foul. Carleton's DNA is offensive rebounding. Taffy Charles told us today that's where we get our second most offense out of, is on the offensive glass.
And you love that because offensive rebounds are the biggest tell of a team's effort, positioning, and technique. And you're seeing it all game long here to the tune of 22 offensive rebounds for Carleton. All three of those factors for them on point.
Neither free throw goes, remains a 1 point game. Here's Gutsmore. Faces Dory Havens. And he travels. Tried to keep his balance and he couldn't. So 2:42 to go, and Taffy Charles is going with Milan now. Cedric Biaba will take a breather. What a game he has had. 15 points in 24 minutes off the bench. 9 rebounds, has just been a beast. If Carleton wins this game, they can look at that fifth-year man as a catalyst to it. But lots of basketball left. Here we go. Koulibaly going to work. Another offensive rebound. How many more can it be as Cillian is short? Another. DK. Target practice. Kelsey slips out. Koulibaly the rebound. Under 2 minutes to play. Cillian underneath. And Koulibaly is fouled. Not handling the basketball initially may have led to Rooms colliding with him.
Yeah, that it did indeed. And I tell you, as I look over at that Bold sideline and see Dave Navarro pace up and down, I know exactly what's going through his mind is how many more offensive rebounds are we going to give up right now? Because how many times do they give one up, them kick it back out, and Kike hit a three as well? It's got to stop here. There's not too much time left.
55 rebounds for Carleton tonight. Plus 21 on the glass.
Effort. Positioning.
So,
Right.
$1:48 to go, 4 point game. Free throws coming up for the Ravens. What a ball game this has been. There's Taffy Charles inside the Carleton huddle. Dave DeViro drawing it up on the Bold side. And nothing has unfolded that either coach or either team has been surprised by.
Yeah, exactly. This is exactly what was billed, this type of game. Now, you're Dave DeViro, and you're down that big in the rebounding battle. 20-plus rebounds. You say, look, guys, we're only down by 4. Giving up all those rebounds, we're down by 4, but we have got to lock in here for this last $1:48. And we've got to do a better job securing that defensive rebound. We've seen the last few possessions down the floor, Carleton has missed their initial shot, but when they're able to get 2, 3 offensive rebounds in 1 possession and score after that, back-breaking plays right there.
We highlighted Emmanuel Milan at the start of the game. Here he is at the line. Hits the front end. Milan, a senior from Ottawa, went to Fort Erie Prep, where Kevin Toth of the Bold also attended. Here we go, 5-point game. DeViro into his bench with Maxime Louis-Jean. Rooms finds Goldborn, no. Underneath, Solkongs gives it away. Who else but Milan who comes up with it?
There he is at the front of the class again, working his way into the sheet with another rebound.
Picked off by Rooms. And Aaron throws it away. Cillian nearly traveled. DK, they got across the timeline. They need, that's a violation. That's the right call.
Well, certainly, you see 15 on that shot clock, and that lets you know right there. That is what TMU is saying. We got 15 on the shot clock, and they're still in the backcourt. That is our ball.
Dave DeViro told our Cami Kepke at the half, he said, we're not composed. They haven't been composed. 65 seconds to go. 5-point game. Maxime Louis-Jean. One and done for the Bold. Dory Havens faces Kelsey. Gurdeep with the strip. And how about the freshman? And an intentional foul? How about that? How about first the strip? How about Kelsey doing that on the junior? I don't know.
It's tough right there, but the hands of Gurdeep Kelsey on display. We've seen it all game long. He's got reach around, pop looses, ISO situations. He is a ball hawk. Takes care of it, gets to the hoop, and now he's got a chance for two and the possession for his guys as well. What a defensive stand by Kelsey.
Kelsey, a 69.6% free throw shooter. Played the power forward position in prep school, has come over here to Carleton. They put him in the small forward role. He's got to learn an entirely new position. 1 of 2 from the line there. The deficit is now 4 for TMU with the ball. Possession arrow in Carleton's favor. Both teams are over the limit. It's a bonus situation. They want to get it to Rooms. And how about Biaba continuing the battle? 5 on the shot clock. All over Aaron. The 3, no. Rooms hits the deck. No whistle. Biaba, who forced it, finishes. And Cedric Biaba has been Carleton's best player through the night. Has he just punched the Ravens' ticket? Rooms regains possession. The 3 doesn't go. And Carleton's 13.1 seconds away from playing for a national championship.
Understand what you get here with a guy like Ced Biaba, who is giving you tangible plays all game long. Great defense, run the floor, and finish in transition. This is someone who does not want to go home without a medal, and you're seeing it on display here tonight.
Remember what he told us yesterday? He said, I get emotional just thinking about what this run has been for us. He said, when I was up there at Laurentian, the idea of just getting to a Wilson Cup was out of the realm of possibility, let alone getting to the Final 8 and playing for a national championship. Has returned home to Ottawa and has been such an important force. 6'6", physical, defender, and able to finish. Has 17 points tonight on 7 of 10 shooting from the floor.
You hear that? 70% tonight for Ced Biaba, all at the cup. And not to mention his great rebounding numbers as well. 9 rebounds, doing his thing, and he's had the task of having to deal predominantly with Aaron Rooms all game long and has made it look easy. Masterclass here tonight being put on by Ced Biaba.
And Rooms has just not been able to find it because of it. If it was Biaba, if it was Milan guarding him, Rooms 6 of 20 from the field, has hit only 3 of 10 from distance. Carleton with the ball in the front court. The Ravens lead by 6. What are the Bull doing? And Biaba gets hit in the face. And free throws coming up for Carleton. This can ice it.
And you saw Dave DeVera there, even heck to his guys. I mean, what are we doing? We just let 3 seconds go off the clock right now. The foul, we need the foul right away. And losing 3 seconds, we'll see if it comes back to bite him. And I feel it's poetry having a guy like Seb Biaba at the line right now.
You know, it's been an embarrassment of riches of banners on the Carleton University campus. Because of it, it's felt like a drought. They haven't won a national championship since 2023. The audacity of missing the final Sunday for 2 straight years. The team that out-rebounded everybody. The team that did it with defense. The Carleton Ravens. And this will do it. Death, taxes, Carleton playing for a national championship. The Ravens will do it again on another March Sunday. Without one of their top players, MJ Okado out. What a performance, what a statement. Holding the OUA champion TMU Bold to 52 points.
That has got to be something you have to hang your hat on if you're a Carleton Raven. You were able to come in here today without your leader, MJ Okada, in the lineup. And what do? You hold Aaron Rooms to his worst shooting game here of the entire tournament. You out-rebound the TMU Bold 23-3. Oh my gosh, plus 20. And all game long, you have been the team that has shown to be that tangible and intangible leader. One more game here if you're Carleton Ravens. Job not finished, but you've got to be proud of your effort here tonight.
For the TMU Bold, such disappointment. They thought this might be the year. They win the Wilson Cup. They cut the nets down on campus. Came in as the number 2 seed in this Final 8. Had the National Player of the Year, Aaron Rooms, who had the most outstanding career of any Bold player. An emotional Aaron Rooms right now.
To present the awards, please welcome Lois Mitchell, former Lieutenant Governor of Alberta.
Pour remettre les prix, veuillez accueillir son honorable Lois Mitchell, ancienne lieutenant du gouvernement de l'Alberta.
The Nike Team Player of the Game from the TMU Bowl, number 4, he's a guard, Maxime Louis-Jean.
Le joueur du match Nike du Bowl de TMU, le numéro 4, Maxime Louis-Jean.
The Nike Team Player of the Game from the Carleton Ravens, forward number 10, Cedric Biaba.
Off the bench, absolute baller. 5th-year senior, getting it done for the Ravens. A game-high 19 points in 25 minutes. Pulled down 9 rebounds, and he's going to his teammates saying, there is one more to go.
here you see what Sed was able to do all game long. Unbelievable shooting numbers. 7 for 10 from the field, 1 for 1 from 3, and 4 for 4 from the free throw line. Efficiency, the biggie here tonight. Unbelievable night.
And he joins our Cami Kepke, and Cami, he's got a crowd with him.
He's got a lot of fans, Cedric, yesterday you were telling us that you were emotional after the quarterfinal win, going back to your early collegiate days, not knowing if you would win a playoff game, and now a chance for a national championship. What's going through your head and what's on your head right now?
Man, this is an incredible feeling. Words can't describe it. You know, like I said, from not winning a playoff game to playing in the national finals, I'm emotional right now. I can't describe it. I really can't describe it.
And your team did this without one of your top players, with MJ sidelined by injury. How did you see this group step up to guard the player of the year as well?
Yeah, like I told you yesterday, our team's been, we thrive on our depth, and it's next man up. He got hurt, but we had Mark today make timely shots for us, and that's what it's all about. That's what it's been about all year. Just guys making plays for us, and Mark stepped up big today and he made plays for us. It's just I can't say enough.
And looking at your game, 19 points. I don't even know how many rebounds you were at by the end there. Where's your confidence level right now?
It just comes from my teammates. My teammates just find me, they give me the ball in the right places, and it's just they make it easy for me. So it's just I give it all to my teammates.
And finally, how do you carry this momentum into the gold medal game?
We got to do it for our guy, man. He's back home. He couldn't make it to the game today. He's watching from the hotel room. He's actually my roommate. And he told me before I left the hotel, he said, go get it, man. You're in my city, go get it. And we had to go get it. And now we need one more. That's all it takes. We need one more. Can't get more motivated than that. We're at this stage. We've been talking about this all year, and we're right there. We got to get it done.
Thanks, Cedric. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Arash, Jermaine, all yours. Wrap this up.
Yeah, Cami Biaba told us yesterday, we don't have a guy. It can be anybody. At the time, Cedric may not have even thought he was going to be tonight's guy.
He was most certainly the guy tonight. Like we've said, 19-9. But the most important part of Ced's game today, having to guard Aaron Roos for the predominant time. That is both sides of the floor. And for him to be, again, like Ross just said, the guy, it's poetry. Not done yet, but you got to celebrate tonight.
What was the message from Okada? Go get it.
Go get it, baby.
The Ravens did. They held the Bold to 50 points. Carleton will play for a national championship on Sunday. Against who? We're about to find out after this.
U Sports on CBC, presented by U Sport à Radio-Canada, une présentation du gouvernement du Canada, the Government of Canada, Nike, Fox 40, Theraburn Medical Supply, Les Bag Baron Rings, BioSteel, Wilson, Paypar, and by Student Housing Calgary.